So how do you go on from here? I mean, you kind of hit on some of the realities a minute ago. So how do you go on from here? How do you take the next step?
This is officially our fourth upload in the past 24 hours. So before we even do anything, do me a favor and make that like button turn blue. Sack that like button for the YouTube algorithm so my content gets pushed out to a larger audience. And we're also giving away multiple PlayStation 5s. I have 3 digital edition PS5s getting shipped to me at the moment. And all you have to do to enter for a chance to win them is subscribe and hit that notification bell. Whether you're an old subscriber or a new subscriber, if you sub and hit that notification bell, you've officially entered for a chance to win a PS5. If you want additional entries, then follow us on Twitter and Instagram, because I also feature takes from my subscribers or my followers on Twitter and Instagram in my uploads. Now that we got all that out of the way, break!
How should we be viewing Aaron's future in Green Bay right now?
Listen, when he's playing at the level he is, there's nothing to view. He's there. He's the quarterback. You're going to move on from a quarterback who's the best player in the league right now, who's playing at an MVP level, who maybe never has played better than he has at this particular point in time. So, again, it's fun to talk about. It's fun to wonder about. They drafted Jordan Love. But they've got an NFC Championship game here on Sunday. He's trying to build on the legacy that he's already created in Green Bay. Why is his future even a topic right now? Like, what's the idea of that?
Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Guys, we just watched one hell of a game between the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is going to result in, and I apologize if I happen to be spoiling this for anyone, but I doubt anyone watching this video would have this spoiled for them, which resulted in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning to advance to the Super Bowl. Now, of course, there were some calls that could have gone either way, but no matter what, you can't deny that Aaron Rodgers did have 3 opportunities towards the end of the game to potentially either tie up the score or give the Green Bay Packers a go-ahead lead, and unfortunately, he wasn't able to capitalize on each one of those attempts. Now, that's not to say that while I was watching Aaron Rodgers face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that I didn't notice that life was significantly harder for Aaron Rodgers than it was for Tom Brady. It seemed like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pass rush was always after Aaron Rodgers, and it seemed like Aaron Rodgers doesn't have nearly the defensive support that Tom Brady does. And that's not a knock on Tom Brady. As a matter of fact, I have tremendous respect for Tom Brady, doing a remarkable job navigating his career. He knew that if he stayed in New England, he wouldn't possibly be able to get the support that he has in Tampa Bay. And he's on a team that sports the #1 pass rush, that has the ability to make defensive plays, although they're not necessarily known for having a remarkable defense. We saw Sean Murphy-Bunting get 2 interceptions over the past 2 games that were crucial in advancing the Buccaneers further along in the playoffs. And while I was watching this, I thought, dang, Aaron Rodgers did have a defense that made some plays. Tom Brady did throw 3 interceptions, but Aaron Rodgers doesn't have that type of team built around him. As a matter of fact, when you look at the way the Green Bay Packers constructed their roster, it appears as though that Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the type of support that Tom Brady got in Tampa Bay. Like, a good example of this was when Bruce Arians didn't want to bring in Antonio Brown, but they ended up signing Antonio Brown just to appease Tom Brady. There was a point where Tom Brady really condemned the fact that Bruce Arians didn't want him to use pre-snap motion, but pre-snap motion is vital to Tom Brady's ability to read opposing defenses, so Bruce Arians caved in that scenario as well. When you look at what Aaron Rodgers deals with, he's dealing with a team that literally drafted their successor while Aaron Rodgers was on his 2nd year of a contract extension, which I know a lot of people like to compare the Jordan Love situation to Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, which we have a remarkable video on it, by the way, but it's not the same thing at all whatsoever. You see, the Green Bay Packers selected Aaron Rodgers back then because there was a chance that Aaron Rodgers could have been the #1 overall pick or was considered to be a top 5 NFL draft pick back then. When a player that's considered to be a top 5 NFL draft pick falls into your lap in like the mid-20s of the NFL draft, and you do have an aging quarterback that has been playing inconsistently, yeah, you will draft and stash that high upside player, because if it doesn't pan out, you still got tremendous value. It was worth taking a shot on Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love was a clear developmental quarterback from the get-go. And currently the Green Bay Packers are paying Jordan Love 4 years and $12 million to ride the bench, which is also a huge waste of a rookie scale contract. But paying a first-round draft pick for Rodgers' successor when Rodgers is clearly still playing well, is just poor asset management in my opinion. Now, the reason I'm saying all of this is there were some thoughts that occurred in my head as I was watching the Green Bay Packers. What if Aaron Rodgers decided to make a similar power move that Tom Brady did? Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers. Maybe Aaron Rodgers decides to go to the 49ers if he still doesn't have a chip on his shoulder for the 49ers selecting Alex Smith over him in the 2005 NFL Draft. Well, once the game concluded, it appears as though I wasn't necessarily the only person that thought of this. Now, a brief disclaimer, because Aaron Rodgers has said this before. He literally said when Jordan Love was drafted that his career and his future in Green Bay may be limited, and we all understood why, because he's currently 37 years old, and, well, when you draft a player's successor, chances are in about a year or two, they're going to move on from that player. But here's what Aaron Rodgers had to say about his situation in Green Bay and about his future.
So how do you go on from here? I mean, you kind of hit on some of the realities a minute ago. So how do you go on from here? How do you take the next step?
Yeah, Bill, it's a good question. I don't know. I really don't. There's a lot of unknowns going into this offseason now. And I'm going to have to take some time away for sure and clear my head and just kind of see what's going on with everything. But it's pretty tough right now, especially thinking about the guys that may or may not be here next year. There's always change. That's the only constant in this business. It's really tough to get to this point. Really, really tough. Especially with it only being one bye week in the playoffs. It's a grind just to get to this point. And that makes the finality of it all kind of hit you like a ton of bricks. That's why it's a gutting feeling in your stomach. There's a lot of guys' futures that are, uncertain, myself included. That's what's sad about it most. Getting this far, obviously there's going to be an end to it at some point, whether we make it past this one or not, but just the uncertainty is tough, and the finality of it all.
Now, once again, it's really important to understand that Aaron Rodgers accepted the fact that he would probably retire with a different team after Jordan Love was drafted. He literally said that in the beginning of the season. Now, when Matt LaFleur was asked about the entire situation and about whether he could expect Aaron Rodgers back, he said, "I sure as hell hope so. I mean, the guy is the MVP of this league. He's the heart and soul of our football team, so hell yeah, he better be back here. He's our leader." But it's also important to know that Rodgers is under contract with Green Bay until 2023, and the Packers can save about $5.5 million by trading him this offseason. And you could only imagine what people would be willing to pony up in order to get this year's presumptive MVP on their roster. So let me know in the comment section down below, do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to come back next year? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.